Hello and welcome to What the Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Welcome to day 1211. Joe Biden announced new tariffs on $18 billion in Chinese imports, including electric vehicles, semiconductors, steel and aluminum products, and medical products. Notably, levies on imported Chinese electric vehicles will quadruple from 25% to 100%, while tariffs on solar cells and semiconductors will double from 25% to 50%. And certain medical equipment, including PPE, surgical gloves, and respirators, will be subject to a 25% tariff. Biden said American workers can outwork and outcompete anyone as long as the competition is fair. But for too long, it hasn't been fair. For years, the Chinese government has poured state money into Chinese companies. It's not competition, it's cheating. Biden will also keep in place Trump's $300 billion tariffs on Chinese goods. Meanwhile, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee launched an investigation into the meeting where Trump promised oil executives that he'd repeal regulations intended to reduce climate emissions if they contributed $1 billion to his 2024 campaign. During a Mar-a-Lago fundraising dinner, Trump reportedly told 9 oil executives that giving him $1 billion would be a deal because of the taxes and regulations he would help them avoid. Moving on, Michael Cohen resumed testifying against Trump in the election interference case involving falsified business records. During cross-examination, Trump's attorney Todd Blanche attempted to discredit Cohen's earlier testimony by pressing him about his attempts to monetize his connection to Trump, as well as his own criminal history, and whether he cooperated with prosecutors for a sentence reduction. Then, in an attempt to establish Cohen's bias against Trump and motive to lie, Blanche confronted Cohen over his previous statements about Trump, asking if he'd ever called Trump a boorish cartoon misogynist. Cohen responded, "Sounds like something I would say." Blanche then asked if he called Trump a Cheeto-dusted cartoon villain. Cohen responded, "That also sounds like something I would say." And finally, Blanche asked if he made the statement, "I truly fucking hope this man ends up in prison," to which Cohen responded that it sounded like something he said on his podcast. Meanwhile, the Justice Department asked a federal judge to order Steve Bannon to begin serving his 4-month jail sentence for contempt of Congress. Prosecutors said there is no legal basis for the judge to continue the stay on Bannon's sentence after a federal appeals court unanimously rejected Bannon's appeal on all grounds and upheld his conviction. Bannon was found guilty in July 2022 by a federal jury of 2 counts of contempt of Congress for defying a subpoena from the January 6th committee. And finally, Arizona prosecutors have been unable to serve Rudy Giuliani his indictment, which notifies him that he's been criminally charged and must appear before a judge on May 21st. The Attorney General's office has made multiple attempts to contact Giuliani, including by going to his New York City apartment and calling various phone numbers, and none of them were successful. An Arizona grand jury indicted Giuliani and 17 others last month on felony charges related to their efforts to overturn Trump's 2020 election loss in the state. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.